Treaster, and I'm with the Wayne County Master Gardeners. So that's a program of Purdue Extension from our Extension office here at the Kuhlman Center in Wayne County. And we love to garden. Our Master Gardener group has so much fun encouraging and helping people get started. Now, there may be some people watching this who are already very much gardeners, but you might still pick up some tips on how to expand what you're doing or improve what you're doing, because there's always something new. I mentioned our last segment that a lot of us grew up with a garden that was created with a tractor and a plow, and it was big. Well, as America has become more and more suburbanized and urbanized, we don't have tractors and plows now. The popular trend, and it's not a new trend, it's been around for about 40 years probably, is to raise your garden bed. In other words, create a bed that is defined. And that is as opposed to just going out in the yard and digging up a strip and planting. Instead, we are measuring and confining a space. This started, or at least became really popular with this man. You may have heard of this term, square foot gardening. Did you know this is the biggest selling gardening book ever published? Now, and it came out 40 years ago, I think. And I tell you, I'm not a big fan of this. It's a great idea, and it got a lot of people thinking, but this costs money. I'm really thrifty, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to grow food. There are so many things you can do. Notice this raised bed. The edges are defined with concrete blocks. Now, this homeowner could have gone and bought new concrete blocks, that'd be fine, but you know, you can find used ones. You can find used lumber. You can, but let me throw in there, it can't be treated lumber. There are new treated lumbers that are safe, and Purdue has a bulletin about that, how to know if it's safe for food or not. But old treated lumber will put chemicals in your food. Also, it's tempting when you're out in the country and you see these barns falling down everywhere. I'll just go grab some boards to make site. No, sorry, lead paint on those boards. Can't do that either. The best bet if you want to use wood is new untreated wood. Then my favorite, and this is what I do at my house, and I hope I can show you in a future segment, I use logs. When you see a tree service cutting down a tree, say, hey, can I have some of those? Get ones about 3 to 5 inches in diameter and frame your bed with those. It's natural, it's free, and it improves the soil as those logs rot down. So, is this definitely the way to go, the raised bed concept? There are some big advantages. One is you focus all your fertility efforts, I mean your fertilizer, your manure, your compost, in a defined space. It's not getting lost out into the yard somewhere. It prevents compaction, because it's not likely that you're going to get up in here and walk around. You're going to work from the sides. Another advantage of raised beds, this homeowner has some of these, what I call elevated beds. They're also called raised beds, but that's confusing, isn't it? These are up in the air. These are on the ground. So these are ideal too, especially for people who have trouble bending over. But now let's talk about a couple of cons, the negative side of raised beds. This kind is going to dry out. In July and August, this would have to be watered every day. And even a raised bed on the ground dries out faster than just because it's higher. And another con of a raised bed is you have to come up with the material to fill it. You notice this raised bed is not full. But that's okay, it doesn't have to be full. But if you like that full lush growing over the sides look, this homeowner would want to add some more materials. That's probably going to cost some money, but hey, you're growing good food. And you know, you'll find out as you do more gardening and grow more food, it becomes kind of a passion. And don't we all spend money on our hobbies? I do. You don't have to have edges on a raised bed. It can be raised, quote unquote, simply by virtue of being defined from the space around it and the soil being mounded up. So this one is defined not just by the edge, but by this nice gravel around it. Though we notice there's another raised bed over here that has grass up to the edge. That's a little more challenging because grass can encroach on a bed that doesn't have an edge. So edges are helpful, not essential. The other thing that edges do is they allow you to put in, they hold things that support a crop. For instance, this is a trellis, which you can put this in the edge and it's not going to blow over. So there's lots of advantages to edges. I just want to mention one more thing before you plan out your raised bed. Do use a tape measure. You don't want a raised bed to be any wider than 4 feet. And even 4 feet can be a little bit of a challenge because first you have to get down and then you have to get in. So I'm going to test. Let's see if this homeowner did a good job. This raised bed is 40 inches. That's ideal. Effective use of space, and he can reach the whole thing without getting into it. And the length doesn't matter, except that if it's too long, you'll get tired of walking from one end to the other to get around it. So do what works in your yard and have fun. Gardening is, well, we all know gardening's great exercise. You can grow great food, but it's a lot of joy too. Again, I'm Beth Treaster with the Wayne County Master Gardeners, and check out our resources at our Facebook page. And also, you might want to check the information available from Purdue Extension, which is also on the screen for you to see. Thanks for being here today.